What's up guys, and welcome to Hardy's Hobbies, the channel where we discuss the latest tech news and delve into newest tech products. So recently, the Asus Strix GTX 1080 was actually offered for $569 on SuperBiz. Now unfortunately that deal is currently over, but that is the lowest that card has been this whole entire year. There's actually another deal on SuperBiz for that same exact card for $10 more at $579. So if you guys are watching this video and would like to pick that up, then make sure to click the link in the description below as soon as possible. So obviously these cards are finally dropping under MSRP, but should you take this opportunity to buy a card? But before we delve into that, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys would like to stay updated with the latest tech news related to gaming and PCs. So before we discuss if you should buy a graphics card right now, we should understand why GPU prices are even dropping in the first place. So, if you guys didn't already know, Ethereum is just not doing that well right now. For example, it dropped from over $1,400 to less than $400 in just a couple of months. And Ethereum is one of the most popular things to mine with GPUs, and as a result, if what you're trying to mine is not doing well, then there's not going to be a lot of people entering the mining scene, and there's not going to be a lot of people expanding either. And so the demand for GPUs from these miners has been significantly reduced because of the significant drop in value of Ethereum. On top of this, the difficulty to mine Ethereum has become much harder. In just the last 4 months alone, the difficulty has increased by 1.5 times, and as a result, that's definitely deterring many people from continuing to buy GPUs for mining. Finally, there's also a new ASIC from a company named Bitmain that is supposed to perform much superior to GPUs in Ethereum mining. This ASIC is specifically designed to mine Ethereum, and it is supposed to produce 650 megahashes a second while only consuming 750 watts. To put this in perspective, a GTX 1080 Ti, which is fully overclocked and is at 100% power limit, can only do about 37 megahashes, but it consumes 343 watts. So as you guys can see, the ASIC miner consumes about twice as much power, but it performs 20 times better than the GTX 1080 Ti. As a result, it's much more efficient, and its price should also be much better than what the GTX 1080 Ti can offer, because it's specifically built for mining, so the performance per dollar should be much better. But the miners who are completely focused on just Ethereum mining may just jump onto ASICs because it's just so much more profitable. And as a result, the anticipation for such a miner coming out very soon has also greatly reduced many miners from going out and buying GPUs. They're simply waiting to see if it's worth buying one of those or just continue with their GPU setups that they have right now. Overall, you still can make money out of cryptocurrency mining, but it is just not a quick way to make a buck anymore, and there isn't that much hype around it either. And as a result, there is much less demand from GPU miners for gamer graphics cards. And as a result, if there's less demand, the price is gonna go down. On top of this, the demand from gamers for graphics cards has also been lowered significantly. By now, the people who really wanted graphics cards just ended up paying the higher prices or ended up buying a used GPU. So as a result, most miners and a lot of gamers have been taken out of the equation. As a result, I would say that the high demand that there was for graphics cards has subsided finally. The only problems left is stock and RAM prices. Nvidia has been telling us that they have been addressing stock issues for a couple of months now, so I think that can be taken out of the equation as well. So the only thing left is RAM prices. However, I don't really think RAM prices affect the GPU market very much. At this point, RAM prices have been inflated for about a year, since about last May, and they have been increasing throughout last summer and in the fall. But the GPU market wasn't really affected. Nvidia GPUs pretty much maintained MSRP, and they were often lower than MSRP throughout last summer and the fall. On top of this, RAM prices peaked in the fall, and despite that, GPU prices were still not that affected for Nvidia at least. So as a result, I don't think RAM prices affect GPU prices too dramatically. Overall, GPU prices have been dropping because of less demand, higher stock, and RAM prices subsiding finally. And this is why we were able to find GTX 1080s for less than MSRP. And this is not just true for GTX 1080s. For example, you can get GTX 1060s for $300 right now, and you can get GTX 1070s for about $470, and GTX 1050 Ti's for about $180. So as you guys can see, they're all only about $50 to $100 inflated as opposed to the $200, $300 before. Due to all this, NVIDIA GPUs are probably going to hit MSRP very soon, but should you take advantage of this and buy a GPU? Well, in my opinion, the next series of GPUs from NVIDIA is just around the corner, and I really think that you guys should consider waiting for these new GPUs instead of buying a graphics card right now. Recently, there was actually a massive leak about the performance of the GTX 1180. Now, these are leaks, so take everything with a grain of salt. But anyways, now what these leaks were suggesting is that the GTX 1180 had performance numbers that were very close to the Titan XP. Now, the GTX 1180 is also supposed to have newer hardware like GDDR6 memory, and as a result, according to this leak, the GTX 1180 should about match, if not exceed, the performance of the Titan XP. Furthermore, this leak is suggesting that the GTX 1180 will be offered for $700, just like the Founders Edition 1080 card, and this card is supposed to come out in July. So it's just around the corner and may definitely be worth waiting for, because just for $100 more than what you are willing to spend for a GTX 1080 right now, you can pretty much get a Titan XP. So what about for lower level cards? I've said this many times, but I strongly believe that the best place that we can look for the performance of the newer cards is actually by looking at past generational gaps. Like for example, last generation, the 1070 was just slightly better than 980 Ti. And as a result, this generation, I believe that the 1170 will be in the ballpark of the 1080 Ti. On top of this, the 1170 should be coming out at around the same time as the 1180, and it should be in the price range of the high 300s. So as a result, all you guys who are considering to buy a 1070 right now, if you just wait for 2 more months, you may be able to pick up a 1170 for a cheaper price, but get the performance of a GTX 1080 Ti. So just keep that in mind before you purchase a GTX 1070 anytime soon. Now, next for the 1160. And here I still think there's going to be a huge performance upgrade. Last generation, the 1060 was pretty much equal with the 980. And so this generation, the 1160 should probably perform around the 1080, and the price should be around like $250. So as a result, the price and the performance, I would say, sound good for the 1160. But the only problem is that the 1160 isn't expected until the end of this year. So it's really quite a long wait. So if you guys really don't need an upgrade, then obviously you guys should wait. But otherwise, I guess it doesn't really make sense for that one. Something else to keep in mind is that there's going to be a huge price drop once these new graphics cards come out. So even if you don't want a new graphics card, let's say you want a 1060 right now, you may be able to afford the 1070 once the new 1170 and 1180 come out, because 10 series graphics cards will be outdated by then and their prices will drop. So overall, by waiting for the next series of graphics cards, you may be able to save money on a graphics card that you're purchasing right now, or even afford a next level graphics card. Overall, in my opinion, everyone who is not in dire need of an upgrade should definitely consider waiting, because you may be able to afford a next level 10 series card, afford a new 11 series card, or simply just save a bit of money. But that's just my take on it. Make sure to post what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, many of you guys have been waiting for many months at this point, so you might as well wait a little bit more and make it all worth the wait. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's completely worth waiting for these new graphics cards? Or are you like, I don't care and I really just want a graphics card for a reasonable price? Make sure to post what you guys think in the comments down below, because I do read all my comments and I'm curious as to what you guys think. So make sure to post your thoughts. Also, if you guys like this video, then make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you guys would like to see more videos just like this every single day. But until next time, bye.